why is Yiddish so important? A friend of ours, to whom, Renee Crames, asked, Yiddish, why are you so interested in Yiddish? It's a dead language. I said, well, so is Latin if you want to go to dead languages. But I said, the question is not whether it's dead or alive. The question is, what do we do with it? It's dead if we do nothing with it. That's for sure, if we bury it. But as long as we don't bury it, it's always alive. And what is the purpose of its life? Well, that's an interesting question. First of all, why question the purpose of a language? If the language was a medium of life, it was not only interaction, but it was a whole life. I mean, what Aaron Lansky has done, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, and I told it to Aaron. He has managed to use Yiddish as a jumping off point into a history of Eastern European Jewry and all that it meant, not only in the Jewish world, but in the world beyond. All that it meant everywhere. It's not just a language, it's simply the entrance point. I mean, whether you read Peretz or Sholem-Asch, the point of it is that that it's not just the literature. It is a historical perspective on a whole world that was destroyed. And in a weird way, by studying it and keeping it alive, at a minimum, you honor the memory of all the people who no longer exist. It's a way of paying respect to the people who were murdered. It's a way of doing that. Because after all, what can we do about it? They're gone. At the very least, we ought to honor their memory. And Yiddish is one way of doing it. It's also much more, because it opens up a whole panorama of questions. When we supported an intern, a young woman, I had lunch with her, and I said to her, you're going to be taking your PhD in Yiddish? You're going to spend your whole life, professional life, studying Yiddish? I said, why? And she said, because I want to know how my forebears lived. And I started to cry, because I don't know. I don't know. So in a weird way, whether we're Jewish or not, it's a way of honoring their memory and to say that you're not completely dead. And it's a very profound thing to do. And Aaron tapped into that very wisely, tapped into it, especially for us secular Jews. Because what have we got left? We've given up the Jewish God because we don't believe in it. So what have we got left? All we have is our stories. And how do we get to our stories if we don't know Yiddish?